Hey guys, we're going to do a spark plug change on my 2007 350Z HR. Here's the battery location here. We're going to end up unplugging that in a little bit. This version of the Z has dual intake. I have to remove both sides. We're going to end up taking the cover off on top first. Got to unscrew these with the 10mm. Take the cover off. Basic ratchet can do, which I already loosened it. Decide to remove the strut bar. I'm not going to. I don't think it's needed, so I'll do without. Now we're gonna unplug the battery. Also, it's a 10mm. Start out taking off the intake boots with the flathead on the clamps, and just make it go underneath the strut bar. And just pulled it out. And then same thing with the other side. So I removed this hose that attaches from both intake hoses. Now to remove the throttle body, you'll need an Allen wrench. So this throttle body on each side has 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So 4 on each side, the Allen wrench. Does have a gasket. You can decide to buy them if yours is pretty worn out. I didn't do it. Probably next time around I'll change it. Already pulled the spark plug out to check it out. It looks pretty worn out. I'm going to replace them with NGK's iridiums. I personally like to use anti-seize on the spark plug, so you can see it on the thread. They already added it. Remove the spark plug. It's a 14mm. So that's what we're going to be using. It's up to you if you want to remove the hoses that's on the throttle body to get some better clearance. I didn't. All I did was unplug the connector from one side of it to give me that extra space, and that worked just fine to get the extension there. Just pretty much putting the throttle body back on. I already used the Allen wrench to tighten it. I'm just plugging in the connector. And we're going to put the boot back on. Intake boot on. Just going pretty much backwards like you started. I did clean the throttle body while I was at it, so we'll do that on the other side. It looks like this if you don't. I use throttle body cleaner. So this is removing another coil. This is really tight, a little tight, but it's manageable. You just move the hoses and wires around, and you can get clearance to take it out. No biggie. And just so you guys know, when I do spark plugs, I like to use a magnet to take. I use a regular deep socket and I pull it out with a magnet. Much easier. Unless you have one of those sockets that's magnetized, that's even better. But that's how I do it if I don't have one. And when I'm going to put in the spark plugs and tighten them, I hand tight them. So like that. Won't be forever with the ratchet, and until it gets a little tight, I start using the ratchet. These plugs have a lot of thread. And just get the ratchet and start tightening. So all the coils are back in, unplugged at the moment. We're just gonna plug them back in. Just make sure you hear the snap when you plug them in. Kind of hard to hold the camera at the same time while I do this, so bear with me. All right, all snapped in and ready to go. The throttle body, cleaned it up. Looks way better than before. Should clean that too while you're at it. Now put the intake boot back on. Attach this hose that goes to both sides on the intake boots. Now time to put the cover back on. Slip it through underneath the strut bar. No biggie. Tighten up the 10mm back on the bolt. The 10mm to tighten them up, and done. Hopefully I covered all the key points for you guys. Trying to make a short video where you can get started on yours right away instead of waiting 30 minutes. Any questions, let me know. See you next time. Thanks.